Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to go over the overall effectiveness of the Positional Heroes program this year, go over some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses, and how EA can improve upon it going into Madden 20. So one of the strengths I really liked about the Positional Heroes program this year was the wildcard sets, or the wildcard options for the sets. I thought that was really good, even though I know some people like how specific cards can bring up the rarity and the overall price of some of the lower cards. But I think for everyone, I think the wild card options in the sets are the best options. So these sets can be done by a majority of the people rather than only being done by, some of the top end people that are able to afford those really expensive rare cards. Another strength is I like how the prices are pretty inexpensive. You can make the argument that they are too inexpensive, and therefore everyone is able to get these cards easily. However, I do think they are pretty inexpensive. As you can see here, most of these cards are going for about 150, 160, maybe 170K. Some of the more top end, more sought after positions are maybe going for a little more. But overall, these are fairly inexpensive cards that most of the Ultimate Team community can afford and have on their teams, which I think is important this time of year as we get into June and July, that everyone that hasn't been able to play with these top end cards gets a chance to before the next Madden comes out. Another thing I liked was the solo challenges associated with the positional heroes. I thought they were, very easy to do, not too much time each week. And after only 3 weeks of doing it, you get a fantasy pack for a auctionable and tradable positional hero. Choose from three and pick one there. So I thought that was really good. Now moving on to weaknesses, I did not like that the Positional Heroes program came out so late in the year, starting in May. I don't think that's good. A lot of people are kind of done with the game at this point in the year. So this promo doesn't really seem like a mainstay in Ultimate Team, where in years past when it came out earlier in, late February, March, or even early April, I think there's a lot more engagement because a lot more people were still playing the mode pretty regularly. But now you see a lot of people are kind of shifting towards other games before Madden 20 comes out, as Madden 19 has sort of died down. Another thing I didn't like was how they broke it up, having 4 players twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 3 weeks. Ideally, to me, what EA would do is, like they did a few years back, they would release all the offense at once and then all the defense at once. So we are not waiting on certain positions. Like I know a lot of people were waiting for that punter to come out so they could get their team up to 99 overall. However, that was the last batch of cards released on Thursday, so uh, you had to wait 3 weeks extra for that card had they just released it right away. So I don't think that's good for the game. Now, how can EA improve upon the positional hero program? I think what they need to do first is add value to the sets. Uh, Now I said I didn't like, or I said I liked how it was wild card sets, and I do, but I think they need to add the tokens to the sets, like silver, gold, and elite tokens. There's just not much value to those lower player items that you get in packs. Probably 98% of the time, probably 95, 98% of the time, you're getting these lower player items rather than getting a really, nice mid to high 90s pull. So I would have liked to see, like, they had the team builders where they had some of those tokens. And I would have liked to see some tokens in these sets to raise some value to those lower overall cards, some of the unglamorous player items that you get in the majority of your packs. Also, I think the positional heroes need to be released sooner. I'd say mid-March, mid to late March would be, a pretty fair time to release them. And again, like I mentioned, I would also release them, offense one week and defense the next. Even though they didn't drag the promo out as much as it had in years past, I mean, in years past, it was like one offense, one defensive player, each Sunday for, 3 months, and that's just overkill. Uh, now, I don't think it was necessarily entirely detrimental this year that they, did. Essentially, they released 8 players a week for 3 weeks. I don't think that was necessarily awful, but when you combine it with the fact that the promo started in May, uh, I think especially because of that, you need to just to release them in giant batches, offense one week, defense the next. I think that just would have been better so you can get all those positions out right away rather than, we already waited till May to begin with, and now if I want a left outside linebacker, I want that kicker, punter, I want that right tackle, I gotta wait till the very last day, 3 weeks down the line, and I don't think that's good. Uh, Again, I would still put the solos in. I thought that was good. Another thing I would add, they had it in the past with the objective lists, where you could, like, a certain number of sets you did, you could get like coins with the objective list. Like I think they had them with the uh Mutt Heroes in the past, or like if you did all 32, you got, 1 million coins in total for all the milestone objectives, and there was a coin reward for like getting 2 done, 4, 8, 16, 24, 32. I thought that would have been good just to incentivize people to do these sets. Yeah, I know there's some positions like for me running back, like, Nick Chubb was a nice player that they released as the positional hero running back, but I have already 99 Ricky Williams, Saquon Barkley, and Todd Gurley, so I don't really need him. But, had there been an incentive based on an objective list, I definitely would have done him and just sold him off, and made some coins that way. But overall, if I had to rate the positional hero program this year, honestly, the way they did it, like the way you could do the sets and with the solos and how accessible they were, I thought it was one of the best ever, in terms of that. But however, um, because it was released in May and it was so late in the year, and I don't like how they split up the positions. I'd rather have just had them release them in batches. I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now, if we were just solely rating it on the effectiveness of the sets and the sort of user accessibility of the sets, I'd probably give it a 9 or a 9.5 because, I think most people can do these sets. And you don't even need to use coins for them if you can take a power up and use training. I also like that. Yeah, but overall, when taking everything into consideration, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Main thing is I really hope EA does the Positional Heroes program much earlier in the year next year, uh, and releases them in batches, like offense and defensive batches, rather than doing, every 4 items on Tuesday and Thursday for 3 weeks and stretching it out that way. So hopefully, this video helps EA if they even listen. Probably not, but who knows. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about what you think about positional heroes. If you liked it, if you didn't, what you think they should do better. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.